Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel and another episode of the Umbrella Academy, episode 6. Last time on the Umbrella Academy, the all the members of the Academy are finally back together for all of 5 minutes, of course, and then they got separated again, but with good reasons. It was great. It was a fantastic episode seeing them all together, especially with Vanya being a part of the group. They split off by the end of the episode, but I think this is more to come to terms with their lives in the 60s and kind of tie up some loose ends in a way. Klaus, of course, with his cult. Alison trying to make things right with Ray and Vanya, which things didn't work out too well for, but I think it needed to happen that way. Um, the Vanya Sissy situation is a bit complicated, as is any situation where marriage is concerned and a third party. And I think she's been a bit naive in kind of interjecting herself into this family's life and hoping things work out in her favor. I do want Vanna to be happy. I'm just saying this is a messy situation. It is. I've seen no reason to dislike Carl so far, so to kind of shaft him like that, and after he took her in, not a lot of people would actually do that. um Take someone in on someone off the streets that you just met, they don't recall anything, you take them into their home, leave them with your son and your wife. So it and who knows, Sissy has spoken about her relationship with Carl, but from what she said, he's not a bad person, he's a good family man. They just don't have a lot of chemistry. She just got married to him because that's what one does in that time, to survive, for lack of a better word. But I don't think Vanna should be the one to interject herself there and force the situation. If things do work out for her, I would be happy. I've seen the idea thrown around, by the comments and reactors, suggesting that what if Vanya stays in the 60s with Sissy at the end of this, at the end of this season. But I have a better idea. I mean, why not take Sissy and her son with Vanya to the future, back to present day? You know, um, I think that would be much a much better solution to their little dilemma here. It still wouldn't work out well for Carl, but unfortunately, but it would definitely be good for Sissy and her son, because he could definitely get better treatment in the future. Whereas in the 60s, I imagine they don't have the tools necessary to help him as much as they would like to. Um, so that would be that would be the ideal situation, I believe, for Vina and Sissy, for her to five to help take them to the present day rather than leaving them back in the 60s. Um, or I mean, neither could happen, and Vina may have to come to terms with what's the current situation and leave them as is. Either way, it's a tough choice, but yeah, all our siblings kind of have these loose ends that they need to tie up. But some good news, of course. Dr. Hargreaves has sent an invitation for them to come and meet him. I'm still not sure whether that invitation was actually from Hargreaves and not from the handler, because I don't know how Hargreaves would have found them to deliver that message. Um, Although Diego is not a tough guy to spot, yeah, he's hard to miss. So that there's still a possibility it is from Hargreaves. Hopefully it is, and they can finally meet up with him and talk about everything that's going on. Of course, at the very beginning of the last episode, we did have sort of an origin story for Pogo and Grace to some extent. We met her before, I believe, 1 or 2 episodes ago, but we didn't know who Grace the person was. We just saw her at the party. But here we see that she was an integral part of scouting, finding Pogo himself, prepping him for the space mission, and yeah, she grew close with Reginald. To everyone, to my amazement, I mean, I'm imagining to everyone else's amazement as well. I never in a million years would imagine Reginald, reading a bedtime story to anyone. Even though he said he has a dislike for children, it was still nice to see that side of him, and hopefully that's not the last. All right, so excited to get into the next one, guys. Let's check it out. I don't know if Ray's gonna buy this. I don't know. As I said before in my last reaction, I mean, what makes more sense? The fact that she could be a spy or the fact that she's some woman from the future? Yeah. Must have been a real shock for her to just land there.
Hey girl, we're talking to you.
I'm sure she can fight well enough to take them. I would have kicked their asses. I mean, I guess the repercussions that would follow would be a problem.
You boys must be lost.
Good. Luckily, the salon workers were there. I gotta say though, the people in the 60s seem very nice. And just like that, Ray fell hard.
You're not from around here, are you?
You have no idea. Oh, she still can't speak. Oh, I almost forgot that.
Well, maybe we can discuss things
Yeah,
over dinner.
her throat is still healing.
My name is Ray.
Ray's got game, man.
She's your daughter.
Yes, and she's my only one, so I'd appreciate if you didn't crush her windpipe. Darling, would you give us a minute, please?
Yes, the grown-ups need to talk.
Under my leadership, the commission would sound more like...
She wants AJ's job.
What about the board of...
Or maybe even higher than that.
In exchange for the assassination of the board,
She wants
I'm
her to
willing
kill
to
the
get you
board?
and your family
Huh.
out of this timeline and back to 2019 where you belong.
So they are the cause.
Nobody knows who they are.
Correct.
Perhaps she does.
But once every fiscal quarter, they get together for a board meeting.
Where?
The question is when.
So why not kill them yourself? Well, time 5 can portal, I suppose.
Fine. But remember, Doomsday's right around the corner, and the way things are going, I'm your only option.
Yeah, she's not wrong. Unless they find their father, they have no idea how to stop this.
Can he really be that bad?
Yes.
Okay, well, let's see. He isolated you from the rest of the family.
Kept you hopped up on pills?
And he brainwashed you into thinking you had no...
I mean, I have to meet him.
Hey, we can handle him. You wanna know what's different this time?
Well, what's that?
You got me.
Yeah, you're all working together this time. I love this.
Number 2 bullshit.
Number 1, number 2
Now on
collaboration.
Team 0.
Team Zero?
I like it. Team 0. One for all. Come on. Don't leave him hanging. Guys. Klaus would do it.
Fraud. Yeah, I've been lying to
Just like
all
that.
of you
Coming
from
clean.
the
Just
start.
rip off the band-aid.
I'm a complete and total fraud.
It's getting turned into an angry mob real quickly. Or not. Oh man. I guess once you drink the Kool-Aid, that's it. That's it. You tried.
Okay, it is not just some parlor trick. There is a cost.
Okay, so Wonder Woman's got powers, but nobody can see them. How convenient.
Could have just used it on him, make him punch himself in the face or something.
Excuse me.
I don't think he sells to
Colored
people
folks
of
can't
color.
Try on the merchandise, but if you'd like to make a purchase,
I heard a rumor that you let him try on anything in the store.
That'll do it. I guess he's a believer now. Should have said, I heard a rumor you let him take any suit he wants. Probably shouldn't overdo it though. Come on.
For the movement.
Because it's wrong and there are repercussions.
Allison, wait.
Oh. Oh. Oh, no.
I heard a rumor that you shut your damn mouth.
I don't know if this is a great idea, just using your powers so carelessly. She didn't have to say it again for the second command?
More. Allison.
No, 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 no. Come on, don't. You did spill coffee on her. I get it, but don't go overboard with it.
You're hurting him, Allison.
Come on, remember, dignity.
Sorry.
This is why she can't use it, Gray. It's probably gonna think she's a witch or something now.
16 years in the grave, and you finally turned into your father.
Well, it didn't hit him,
We've caught you in the middle of
so he can possess him.
Chill.
That's interesting though. So Ben can actually possess Klaus against his will though. That's kind of dangerous. Not so much from Ben, but others that may be able to do it.
They're all I have left of you.
Hopefully this works out for the best. I guess.
No, you don't.
I've already enlisted.
I feel like 5 should have had a sit down with all the siblings and tell them what the do's and don'ts are for traveling back in time. God damn it.
Dave, come back.
You guys need to stop messing with the timeline. So he might die sooner rather than later now. And you guys might not even meet.
Wait up.
Or nothing changes, maybe.
Hold it.
Who knows? I thought they were meeting up at the... I thought they were going to meet him at the actual academy. I guess they're meeting here.
Good.
And 5 isn't telling them about the offer from the handler. It is him. Okay. I'm pleasantly surprised. Dad.
Hey, Bob, how's it hanging?
Yeah. My reconnaissance tells me you're not CIA, not KGB, certainly not MI5. So,
Who the hell are you?
From the future. 1989, you adopted us all and trained us to fight against the end of the world.
regardless, what would possess me to adopt 7 ill-mannered malcontents?
We all have special abilities.
Special? In what?
Well, you kind of need to get him pay attention.
What are you writing?
You are 0 for 2, young man.
He missed it the first time. And Vane can do anything.
Maybe we don't take Bonnie.
Probably not a good idea.
Way to go, Vanya. Hey, she's in control. least now they know he's there. Not impressive.
Look at what you did to me.
You and the Kulaks.
Going terribly.
A word in private?
He surmised that 5 is the only one there that. The only rational person there.
In 5 days if we don't get out of the timeline.
World's end, Paleozoic, Jurassic, and so on.
We can do something about this.
But why would he create the Umbrella Academy in the future if not to save the world? But this version doesn't seem to really care. Nothing good.
I jumped too far forward. Got stuck in the future for 45 years in an apocalypse. Then I jumped too far backwards.
Start small. Seconds, not decades.
Seconds.
It's not wrong.
Offense, but I need a bit more time for what I'm trying to accomplish.
So much can change in a matter of seconds.
Or you can go back and start this conversation all over again.
I was really hoping you had more than that.
I'm sorry I can't be of more help.
Now he has to go to the handler. Ah. Ah. Oh, come on. Don't, I'd hate to see them kill him. This guy's been so generous all season, letting them crash at his place. Where?
Away from here.
To the future, maybe?
I just need you to trust me.
You mean when? The future is all I can think of.
I do. Lord help me, I do.
Come on, guys. Are we forgetting about the end of the world bit? God damn it, Carl. This is gonna get ugly. Don't tell me they killed him. Oh, man. Well, they tortured him. They killed Elliot. I hope this gets you guys to get your shit together. Stop messing around. God damn it.
If I take out the board, you get me and my family home.
I don't trust her. I mean, even if she stops the doomsday he speaks of, what about the next one? And she's already sent assassins to kill one of his siblings. 1982. Oh man! All right, I'm a bit pissed that they killed Elliot. He knew what they've told him, but he doesn't know what exactly is happening. And he accepted 5 into his home, and then one after another they kept showing up, and you know he kept being generous and allowing them to stay there. And I feel like the team's been a bit careless, knowing that there are assassins after them, trying to kill them and remove them from this timeline, and they've just been very careless. They're together for 1 minute, then they're away the next, and they're not taking any precautions to ensure that, you know, everyone around them stays safe. Ah, man, I hate that. They finally got to Dr. Hargreaves, but I mean, nothing happens, I guess. I'm glad they had the moment with Reginald, especially him and Five. But I was expecting more. I suspect that we will see him again because I do believe he has a bit more. He's a bit more involved with the assassination and the end of the world than he's telling them. I don't believe Diego's theory about you know, that he's indeed trying to kill the president, but I believe he's involved with it somehow. I'd more lean towards him trying to prevent it from happening, but I just don't get what the bigger picture is for him. Mostly because the Reginald in the future put the academy together for a reason. But this Reginald seems to be, you know, resolved in the fact that mankind will go to war, they will fight, and from what he says, you know, it happens. He doesn't really care about that. But that's not what the Reginald in the future thinks. Otherwise, he would never have put them together in the first place. So what changed? Or if anything changed, and perhaps he does have a plan, but he doesn't think that they're well put together enough to be a part of that plan, so he's still trying to do it on his own. But I have to admit that they are making a mess of things. They're making a mess of things. The last episode, or the last 2 episodes leading up to now, I've been like, why are they messing with the timeline so much? I think, I know at the end of the last season, the world was about to end, so 5 had to just jump with them. But I mean, should have had a time travel for dummies session and explain to them, okay, look, whatever timeline you end up in, do not mess with things that could potentially change the future. So I mean, Klaus made a mess of things with Dave. He confronted him in front of his uncle. And not only did he still have to sign up, but he had to do it sooner. So either nothing will change and he'll still go to war and he'll still die, or he'll enlist sooner, end up going to war earlier, and die sooner. So he made a mess of that. I mean, my favorite thing this episode, to be honest, was probably the conversation with Dr. Hargreaves, the entire family with him. That was my favorite thing this episode. But I liked Ben's interaction. And the more and more I learn about Ben, the more I like him. The more I want to see of him, and the more I want to see him interact with the other members. Which they're giving us in small doses. I mean, hopefully his possessing Klaus here means that everyone now knows he's there. And I'm not sure why Klaus has been hiding that fact, though. I don't know why he would be hiding that from the other siblings, and why, more importantly, why he would be torturing Ben like that, you know, refusing to allow Ben to be a part of the conversation. That's kind of cruel, man. It's I don't know why he'd do that. Ben obviously has, I mean, he's infatuated with one of the members of Klaus's cult, and again, while I'm happy for him, I do question his choice, given that she's a member of Klaus's cult in the first place. At least Klaus tried to come clean to them. It didn't work. They've already drank the Kool-Aid. I don't think anything he says to them will change their minds at this point. But on the flip side, Ray now knows about Allison's powers, and he believed her, and believes she's not a mole. Problem is, as he pointed out, and I said this an episode ago, 1 or 2 episodes ago. I said this 2 episodes ago. If she does tell him about her abilities, one of the first questions he will ask is, did you use your abilities on me, and how do I know that my feelings towards you are genuine and not fabricated because you use your powers on me? And yeah, it's like he asked, and she answered honestly. With her silence, in that if she did use it on him, he would have no way of knowing. But I mean, judging from the scenes that they actually showed us with their interactions leading up to him asking her out, she never exchanged words with him. I believe that was the first time she spoke to him. So the attraction was already there. So he's still, I mean, there's still an argument to be made that she couldn't have fabricated those feelings because she never spoke to you or prior to that. But she still could have used it to get him to propose to her and all of that stuff. So it's still a valid question for him to ask. That scene in the the restaurant though, did she go overboard? I want to say yes, if only because what Ray has been saying this entire time is to maintain honor and dignity, honor and dignity, honor and dignity, and that's the opposite of that, but on the other side, she did try things his way and got hot tea thrown on her. It's it's a terrible situation. I don't think she should have done it, but I understand why she did it. After everything that happened, Ray ended up getting beaten. She was dragged out as well, and it was a terrible situation. And what happened to her friends, all because he definitely deserved it. But I understand what Ray's movement is trying to accomplish without resorting to physical harm or violence. I get it. It's he needs to, and I understand from her perspective, it's tough to show restraint under those circumstances, knowing that you can do something about it, but you kind of have to not. So I get it from her side. I get it from Ray's side as well. Tough situation. I don't know what's gonna happen with Sissy and Carl and Vanya. As I said at the very beginning, it's a very complex situation because again, Vanya did impose herself on this family. They took her in, yes, but when she got there, they were already married. They have a son. I still maintain that it is not for her to go there and encourage it. If Sissy wants to leave her husband, then let her do it of her own accord. I don't think she should be there. I think she should have left when she said she was going to leave. Initially, before anything happened, if Sissy wanted to follow her, then let her leave Carl and then follow her. But then she went on to sleep with her in his home, in his bed, and just made things a bit awkward, and she's not in the right in a lot of the decisions that she's actually made leading up to that. And now I guess we'll see what the repercussions are. Everyone's kind of seeing what the impact of the decisions that they're making will turn out to be. I just feel as though it's going to be much worse for Vanya because the last time someone she loved died and she lost it, when she feels loss, I feel as though she loses some amount of control. And if Carl does something drastic, I hope he doesn't, but if he does something drastic, maybe tries to kill Vanya or harm Sissy or something, then she could lose control. And I don't know what's going to happen with Five taking this deal with the handler. It's a good deal in spite of no other option, in light of no other option being available to him. He did try go to Reginald and try to get some help, and Reginald turned him down. But what's the worst could happen, I suppose? If he takes the deal, if the handler could be trusted to honor her word, I would say, hey, why not? Take it. But even before he agreed to the deal, she's already broken her promise by sending someone to kill Diego. So it's clear at this point that she hates Five. She's gonna double cross, force him to take out the board of directors, and then kill him and kill the other siblings. At least that's her plan. I want to believe Five won't fall for that and know that she'll try to double cross him. I want to believe that. I'll give 5 the benefit of the doubt in coming to the realization that she's just not going to honor that promise. I think he's smart enough to figure that out. He figured out Lila was a mole. I think he'll see it coming, but I think he will still carry out the mission in the hopes that she maybe honors her word until the actual betrayal happens. But I don't know what his alternative would be, what his backup plan would be. He doesn't really have any options at this point. Yeah, this episode is something of a roller coaster. Last episode, I was happy to have the siblings back together. I was happy to see them form a united front, Team Zero, as Diego called them. And then Team Zero fell apart because they all had their own issues that they're dealing with, and I want them to resolve these issues so they can focus on the problem at hand. But it's easier said than done. Yeah. Diego's obsession with, and maybe Diego's right. Who knows? I'm giving Reginald all the benefit of the doubt, but I mean, who knows? Maybe he is right and Reginald is plotting to kill the president. Maybe. I just don't think a photo showing him on the grassy knolls is proof enough for him to come to that conclusion. So everything Reginald said to him at the table was right, and he knew he was right. That's why he sat his ass down. But then afterwards, he went to his mom, Grace, and told her, gave her this far-fetched theory that he has no proof of, which may cause a wedge between Grace and Reginald, and who knows what the domino effect of that might be. And I think that's what none of them are taking into consideration, what their actions are, what effect their actions may have on this timeline. What would tear him up, though, I mean, is if what he said to Grace actually results in her dying, because I mean, we know if she dies at some point, and if she did live to see to an older age, I don't know why Reginald would recreate her at this age. So I imagine, my guess is she dies pretty young. I just hope it's not a direct result of what Diego says to her here. Otherwise, that would destroy him. That would absolutely destroy him. But I mean, for the most part, I'm liking Diego's progression this season, especially in his interaction with Luther. He's becoming that brother that, we're not competing with each other. We're adults now. We're a team now, and I love that dynamic with Diego. I hope after this ordeal with Reginald that doesn't change, and that doesn't change him. And he still maintains that, because I think that's where they need to go as a family. They need to work together. Come on, guys, get it together. But that's it, guys. Be sure to post down below. Let me know what your thoughts are on this episode. Hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys for the next one.